Well, my name's Jim Malless, and I've been a Lakeland resident for about 20 years now. It's kind of an interesting story. I came down to Lakeland to work at the county in Bartow, and I actually had never visited Lakeland when we decided to move here. That was 27 years ago, and I've lived in Lakeland now for about 20 years. I'm very much a community activist. I've been engaged in my neighborhood a great deal, whether when I lived in Dixieland or in the Lake Morton neighborhood. I worked with Florida Southern and Presbyterian Homes and First United Methodist Church on development issues and protecting the neighborhoods. I also serve an interest in historic preservation. I served on the Historic Preservation Board for 8 years, and I've also served 2 terms as the president of Historic Lakeland Incorporated. And those are some of my passions. I have an old home that I've been restoring. I've also served the community as a member of the Kiwanis Club of Lakeland, which is one of the largest clubs in the world. Right now I think it's about 12th, and I served a term as the president of that club. Some of my other interests include my planning work. I have been a land use planner for a number of years. I'm a member of the American Institute of Certified Planners, and my profession now follows that track. I'm a commercial realtor with my own company called Wiley & Malless, and I also have a small company that no one's heard of called Wireless Planning Services, and we provide consulting services to property owners regarding towers on their property and leasing, and we also represent tower companies and the cell industry when they have zoning issues on their properties. And that's just some of my background. The reason I want to serve is I have a real passion for Lakeland. I've really invested in my home, my neighborhood, my city, my downtown, and the businesses in Lakeland. I obviously frequent a lot of them. And I want to see Lakeland move forward. Our new tagline for the campaign is thinking forward for all of Lakeland. And that means that I want all of Lakeland to prosper in the coming years, and I want to be part of that leadership. I want to be the commissioner that really looks to the future of Lakeland. We have 2,000 great employees who deliver great services to the citizens every day in Lakeland. We have commissioners focused on today. I really want to be a commissioner that focuses on the future. And let me give you some examples. We're an aging population. The baby boomers are aging. Many of them won't be able to afford to go to Presbyterian Homes or Azalea Park or some other facility. They're going to age in place. And so we're going to have to figure out how to continue to have those people in a productive member of our society. How do they get from their home to shopping? How do they get from their home to the doctor's office? We need to look at that and understand that from a big picture of Lakeland. And we have generations X, Y, and Z, one of them called the millenniums, and they're driving less, and they want a certain lifestyle and amenity. What does Lakeland need to change to provide the lifestyle and amenity that those people want to have in their city? And that's very important from economic development. We talk about high wage, high skill. Those X, Y, and Z generations will bring that to us, but we have to provide a city that they want to live in. I also want to focus on our policies. Let's make the policies very clear. Let's make the policies do what they're supposed to do, and then have the money follow the policy. And that's part of my background. My master's is in public financial administration, and I've worked on numerous boards and city governments and county governments doing their budgeting. So I understand that process. Now, I'm not as good as Commissioner Yates or probably the city finance staff, but I really want to set the policy and then make sure that the dollars follow the policy. I also really want a transparent government. I think that in today's environment in Lakeland, that now is critical, not to be throwing darts or anything at anybody. I don't intend to do that. But we really need to be transparent. We need to be clear on what we want to accomplish, and we want the public to know what that is. And that open communication will be critical for Lakeland's future. The other thing that you'll see from me is that I want to be someone who gets to yes. We often have many things that we talk about doing, and we never ever get to yes or implementing them. And you'll see from the people that have endorsed me that I have a wide range of people that trust me and think that I'll do a good job. I've been endorsed by Business Voice from the Lakeland Chamber, which is a great endorsement. And I've also been endorsed by the West Central Florida Federation of Labor, which represents a lot of the trade labor unions in West Central Florida. So those people see in me that I can get the job done. And that's what I intend to bring for the city of Lakeland, somebody who will focus on the policies, make sure that the staff implements them, give the staff the responsibility for implementing them, get out of their way, and then as part of the transparency, follow up and make sure that they implemented the policies the way we wanted them implemented. Thank you. That is really a great question, and one that I've given a lot of thought to, actually. In running the campaign, I had to gear up and add some folks to my staff to help me do the work that needed to get done while I was campaigning. So I've already made some adjustments that will carry over when I'm elected. The other thing, I think, is that I will simply set a very tight schedule for myself. I will say be in the office on all day Monday, every other Monday, and then maybe every Friday morning, so I'll have plenty of time to do agendas and do the meetings, plenty of study time. The other thing that I'm very good at is juggling, because obviously with my background as a small business owner and as somebody who's served on a lot of boards, I have to learn how to juggle my time. So I'm pretty efficient at the use of my time. I obviously will watch some things on the internet through Lakeland TV, which is very helpful to me. But I will just have to really balance my time. The other thing that I would suggest just off the top of my head would be a calendar for the commissioners. Maybe something's important to me and I can go, and that frees up other commissioners to go to something else. I don't think we necessarily need 3 or 4 or 5 commissioners at certain meetings or certain events. So I think the calendar might help spread us out a little better and give us more time for the big policies of the city. I think the other thing that you'll see of me is that I'm going to focus on the big picture. And I'll expect, once again, the paid staff to take care of business so that the citizens are comfortable going to the staff person who can actually solve their problem. A citizen calling me about something, I then have to make another phone call to solve the problem. The citizens ought to be able to find out where they need to go for solving the problem, and then have staff empowered to solve that problem. But I am concerned about it. I know that the citizens expect me to be a full-time commissioner, and that's a difficult position to be in when you also have to work and provide for yourself and your family. So I look forward to serving for city commissioners, and I will dedicate the time necessary to be an effective commissioner. Well, what does thinking forward for all of Lakeland mean? For me, it means taking all of my experiences that I've learned, whether it be as a planner, whether it be as a small business person, whether it be as someone who served on a board or someone who's a customer for retailing. How do we look into the future, capture all the good of that future for Lakeland and for all of Lakeland, just not downtown or my neighborhood or one of the CRA areas? How do we extend it, say, to Edgewood Drive? How do we extend it to Southgate? How do we extend it further south? How do we make our neighborhoods better, all of our neighborhoods? They all have different needs, they have all different issues, so it's going to take a wide range of solutions and change of maybe the way we think about things, or maybe it takes just totally new thinking in order to improve those areas of our city. So that's all of Lakeland. Thinking forward. That means realizing that the Lakeland we have today does not relate to the Lakeland that will be in the future. Lakeland has never been in this situation where we have the great universities, whether it be Southeastern or Florida Southern or Polk State College, really strong universities. We've never had a Florida Polytech identified with Lakeland and being part of Lakeland. How do we capture all of Florida Polytech's goodness for the city of Lakeland? We have LRMC and its marriage to University of South Florida, or its relationship with University of South Florida. How do we capture that? How do we have the residents coming into our city and spending their money? How do we welcome them and make that part of it? How do we take our great neighborhoods, make them greater, and how do we take the neighborhoods that are struggling and with issues and make them better? Those are all big questions, and that's what I'm going to focus on. Once again, I want to set the policy. I want to direct staff to a clear direction on what they need to do. I want to turn loose the talent of our 2,000 plus employees to do a great job for us. And I want that to occur in an open environment so that it's clear what the job expectation is, it's clear how we're going to measure it, and it's clear that everyone will be held accountable. My name's Jim Malless. I'd be honored to have your vote on November 5th to be the next Lakeland City Commissioner at large. Vote November 5th. Thank you.